He's 6 months old. Too cute. Two grandsons. Well, I was thinking about it.
Babies don't live at your house.
That is
so-
correct,
so,
but you know what, this,
that makes
He's
it
a puppy,
easier.
but don't you get another?
When did you get him?
November 4th,
Oh, so you have.
a little while,
Oh, okay.
2 months. It's a pain in the ass. You choose a face for.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's me. Don't worry about it.
Bring it, you gotta bring his sides up. There you go.
He's the last.
He's not as mean as he looks, nor is he, trust me.
Oh, I'm worse.
Before we get started, I'm gonna have to ask everyone, if you don't mind, when we're doing business, if you could speak a little louder. I didn't put my hearing aids in.
Okay.
Well, you remember
I
the
said.
Consider that a strategy.
very old Saturday Night Live when they say, and then for the hearing impaired, Garrett Morris, and he would yell, they'd say, today's news, and he'd say, today's news.
And just as another reminder, the microphone's in front of you when you're speaking, press it on to green when you're speaking, and that will contact me, yes. Okay? And then just let me know and then I'll
Why not?
start recording.
Is anyone else?
Ross,
We don't have Russ.
and
Winfield.
Janine.
It's still 6:28.
Oh, that's true. Is, where's Cheyenne's name? Where, is she?
She'll have about a
She's not on
minute.
the thing anymore? Oh.
Oh, yes. Electronic clock says 6:28.
I can't wait for what.
It's not that exciting, trust me. It's not that
So what
exciting.
kind of puppy is it?
A Boston Terrier. Boomer.
Very low energy animal.
Oh. Constant, 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 constant. Choose,
a
constant,
terrier.
choose, constant, choose.
I'm with you on that.
That's okay, we decided to go with the miniature breed this time.
And,
We went with the Great Bernese.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so Great Pyrenees, Bernese Mountain Dog mix. Yeah, so.
Here comes Ross.
There's
Yeah,
mine.
8 weeks
Here
old,
comes
he's
Woodfield.
already half the
Very
size
good.
of that.
Oh, boomer.
Now I think we're
He's
waiting.
like,
We're at 6:29.
7
You're on
months now.
time.
Is he?
Yeah.
No,
So I
Finally
take
stopped.
chewing?
No, he's a aggressive chewer.
Yeah, so it's
Aggressive
boomer.
chewer.
You
I
ain't
had
probably-
to buy some like indestructible toys
Good
for
luck.
him, like a ball that's really hard rubber.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, getting that right rubber
Ugh.
formulation is essential,
Yeah.
especially with puppies.
That's the lot number of the
Puppy is
lidocaine I
just-
used today.
okay, nice to know.
He's 7 months.
Okay, so
He's like 60
he's got
pounds.
most of his.
He's gonna be like 80
adult
pounds.
Yeah.
Dalmatian, German Shepherd, Pit Bull.
So
Again, low energy dog.
at PetSmart with the puppy training class, there's a golden retriever on this side, Casey, who goes blah, 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 for, the entire time, and wait, it's like this big, and, and then there's Boomer, and then there's Bruce Wayne, a Bernese mountain dog, who goes blah, 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 all day on Boomer, and Boomer goes blah, 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 blah.
But your dog will stay small, right?
Yes. You know what John Weber said? He's great, he'll draw them into coyotes.
Only $5.
Like, really?
That's what,
Trying to find a good picture of him.
my wife always wants a lap dog, and so every time we get a dog, I always use a puppy. I say, there you go, it's a lap dog.
I didn't know.
You've seen Leo, no, you haven't.
I've never met Leo.
Yeah,
Boston Terrier.
he throws on her lap even though he's big.
I know.
say, see, you have a lap dog, and she gets mad.
Oh,
He's so sensitive. His ears get all.
Okay, it's 6:31, and it looks like we have a pretty full table, so.
Always work. You're always talking about work.
Call the meeting to order.
It's on.
So roll call, Drew Germanowski, I'm here. Vice Chairman Jennifer Helton.
Here.
Secretary Kathy McGovern.
Here.
Dora Ray.
Here.
Alan Johnson. Here. Chad Heinbecker.
here.
Janine is not here. Russ Sutton. Here. Winfield Clark.
Here.
Kurt Balch.
Here.
Carol Schneider. Here. and Wallace Jean Monod.
Here.
And we will, when we get past a couple of, Pledge of Allegiance and so forth, I'll introduce you more formally to the committee.
Got it.
Okay? Okay, so that brings us to the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone rise, please. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do not have an executive session, and so we went almost half a year without a junior council member. That has been rectified. Wallace Joan Monod is our new junior council member. Wallace is a senior at Saucon Valley High School. He's an active member of the high school's environmental club, and beyond the environmental club, he's actually involved in a number of extracurricular activities. His academic interests center around the sciences with a particular focus on biology and chemistry. And when he isn't balancing his many school commitments, he enjoys spending time outdoors and reading. So, welcome.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
That's awesome.
People call you Wally? You don't like that?
I hate that.
Don't do
What do you
that.
like, Wallace?
Wallace is preferable. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Okay, well, our first order of new business is reorganization. So we'll take the various positions one at a time. And we can vote orally if anybody wishes. We could, Robert Rules allows for a paper vote if anybody wishes a paper vote, but we as a committee have to vote 2/3 for a written ballot if anybody requests that. So
I move that Drew
So,
stays
so
as
first
chair.
is nomination of chairman.
I'm going to second that motion.
We have any other nominations? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That carries. Nomination of vice chairman. I would nominate Jennifer Houghton remain in that position.
I second.
Any other nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That vote carries. Nomination of secretary.
Do you want it?
I
Sure.
move that Kathy gets it again.
Sure, unless somebody, I don't matter, but I'll keep doing it. Don't matter.
Kathy's doing a bang-up job.
Yeah.
You're doing a dang good job.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate
Okay.
Kathy.
I
Any other
second.
nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a second on that?
Okay, that carries.
Okay.
The next item there is we need to make a recommendation of a voting member. We may recommend that to council. Normally, and it's in the bylaws have suggested that we normally elevate an associate member to a voting member. So are there any nominations, Kathy?
I would like to nominate Ross Sutton. He started not that long after me, and he has never missed a meeting, and his heart is in the environmental concerns. He's got a ton of knowledge, and I would like to nominate Ross, please.
That second, Chad?
I'll second that.
Okay, are there any other nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so.
Well done, sir.
That
Chad Rose.
goes to
Well deserved.
council, and so we'll learn, I suppose. As an aside, I'm just curious, I didn't go to council meeting, but they would have gone through reorganization at probably their first meeting. Who's the chair of council this year?
Victoria.
Victoria, okay, thank you.
Who's vice?
Priscilla.
Is it Priscilla?
I don't remember.
I watched the beginning.
Yeah,
so
she's vice.
familiar
It's up
faces.
there.
Who?
On the-
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Oh, look at that.
We did, we
Oh, God, I hope you
switcheroo.
flushed the other.
Oh, yeah.
On the
No, I
record,
say
Dave.
that on the
I
mic.
took note of all that, so
Yeah, I
I'll
think you did.
turn it
The burning of the
over
vanities,
to,
don't worry.
To Jay,
You have a lot
then
of
forward it to council.
Okay, good. Yeah, I guess I could have just looked at the name tags. Okay, I was unaware, obviously. Next item is a review of the December 9th action items, which is on the second page of the agenda. Many of these items are, of course, listed as completed. And some of these actually that are listed here is to be updated. They're actually also listed as part of our update reports. So I think we can simply be aware that these action items are listed here and compiled in one place. And then we'll take those couple of updates later in the agenda as they're indicated.
And if I could add, I'd like to keep reporting the action items that we have so they don't fall through the cracks. So some format, and Kathy, we can work on what works best with you. So if you all are in agreement, I'd like to add it as a running agenda item.
I like it. That's gonna, yes.
Okay. Goals and objectives for 2026. Some things will, again, be things that we'll revisit as part of our updates as well. At this moment, does anybody want to, Kathy, you're looking like you have something to add?
Well, yeah, because they kind of all go together. So I was thinking regarding like your action items and then the goals, I sort of have that as the calendar, you know, so they also should all be relatively the same so that we stay on point each month. And then we have the calendar that meets the goals, you know, so when we get down to the calendar subcommittee, we have to kind of focus on which topics do we want to address this year. And then do your goals, you know, do everything at the same time and then not lose something in the shuffle along the way.
Feather them into a calendar, so.
Correct.
They're not only goals, they're actually goals that are tied to specific timelines,
Yes.
okay?
So are you looking to change this agenda item that appears in new business so that it's more under updates and reports?
I don't understand, I'm sorry.
So new business
Right.
had it.
Right, for goals and objectives?
Right, we would just move it down and keep a
Or
running discussion.
if we decide now what our goals and objectives are gonna be for 2026, then I build the calendar,
Oh, okay.
you know, either way. But, once we make the decision, because we had so many, ideas, I don't wanna say goals, ideas in 2025, that, we have to narrow it down to what, you know, specifics, so that when we do the calendar, of course, they correlate. And then I have time, if we're gonna invite a special guest or whatever we're gonna do, and then get the information out to the public, like, it's a whole process.
I think we could clean the agenda up a little bit and put some of these things together.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, what did Chad give you?
Oh, he said we could clean up the agenda,
We could maybe clean up the,
you know, consolidate it,
Right,
which is,
right,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Are we talking about what our goals are for right now?
think
Or in
that's what
open
we-
discussion?
That's how I interpret that.
I think we could, at the moment, list some objectives or goals for the year. I'll just say, for example, with the things that are updates, they're certainly gonna be goals for the year, in many cases. So so what I'm suggesting here for simplicity is some of the things, say, plastic bag, and the whole plastic item is something that we're going to discuss later. So I don't think we have to list it as a goal or an objective at this moment, because we're going to speak to those issues. So, however, this is a moment where we have space to add objectives that aren't already sort of in process, because some of these things are ongoing, for example, open space and so forth. But are there other items that are not at the moment listed as updates and reports that we could, at the moment, just put out there and itemize, and then talk about them again under the item of calendar of events.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
we have this spreadsheet. Yeah, I hear you. And I can't hear you.
That was not nice.
The spreadsheet.
What
that
did you say?
We have this spreadsheet, and we have talked about it in the past, where people could go in and maybe on a column for their name, put in which ones are a priority, for which ones we would, and then the ones that have the most votes would be the one that we would want to do. Rather than having to do that in the middle of the meeting here, we could distribute
it that
a
way.
spreadsheet and vote, mark off your columns for which ones we think we should do, and whichever ones add up is a way to manage this.
We can add more that are not on there, right?
Yeah, we could add additional ones, and we could go through it, and whichever are maybe the top 2 or 3, pick them for that year.
So maybe what it makes sense to do is to say to ourselves, we have homework for the next meeting, which is to go to the spreadsheet, look at the items that are on the spreadsheet, add items that we believe are important, and for each of us to click off, again, sort of a vote of ranking things in terms of importance, and then discuss them at the next meeting. That might be again, in the order, I mean, I think you're just suggesting a way of handling this efficiently.
Right.
Yeah, is there, again, a way for us to distribute a spreadsheet, Excel file that all of us can access and edit? Carol?
I can pass on one that you have, as far as accessing, I don't think that I can give permission for everybody to access.
All right,
As long as
I
it's
was
just a
just getting ready,
spreadsheet that's active.
I was just getting ready to go
Otherwise,
there.
we could do a Google Sheets.
So how about if we not make, because not everybody knows how to share like documents and stuff, you know what I mean? This is a suggestion. This is just a suggestion. I get this worksheet, I can, attach it, send everybody of what this is. I have a couple other things myself. People can just respond with their top 3, 4.
Probably
Or
want
if
to do
somebody
more
has
than
an
3.
idea. Yeah, I think we
So-
should do more than 3
So
too.
because we're gonna settle on the top 3, which would mean for
Okay.
probably
know.
5.
Okay,
6.
5 things.
And I
And-
would
and
be
maybe
happy
once
to be
we-
the person to do that, that's fine, but, because I think it's gonna be difficult for everybody to,
Edit a file.
Yeah.
So it'd be easier if they replied all to you.
that's fine.
And then
Just
you would
reply to me, not to everybody else,
You
just
would
to me,
consolidate the list.
of what,
Does that all make sense?
Yeah,
I have this
And I don't think we should tie ourselves down to a target number at this moment, because
No.
some of these things might be relatively easy.
Right.
And so if we don't want to limit ourselves to 3 things and 2 things
No.
are simple
Right.
slam
we
dunks.
just,
We
and-
can let the list, in essence, speak to us, and we can determine what's manageable.
And remember, everybody, we made this spreadsheet, these goals last January of 25. So, so
And
some
it's
of
carried
it's,
over from the year before, too.
some of it's not relevant anymore, and if you think you have an idea of something that you would like to add, just tell me, and then we'll, we can discuss that as well.
Are you gonna send a copy of the spreadsheet?
I will.
Because I don't have one.
I will,
Yeah.
I will.
Now remind us to respond and.
I might take out some of the stuff that we've already done, but,
course.
Are we gonna do the electronics recycling event? Because that's on there.
Yes,
That's a plan.
the plan
You
is,
have to decide,
Yeah.
I can follow up with calling, getting a date. I mean, if you propose a date, I can see if they have it available.
yeah, so. Yeah, we would
and I
need-
was thinking about doing the tires again.
The
this
tire
year,
one again?
Because that was so, you know what I mean, do it every other year.
Yeah, I
was
hear
thinking
ya.
about that, so. I can only do it if Russ comes, so. Russ is
No,
the
he's a
tire
voting
man.
member, and if he doesn't show up, he doesn't get paid.
Russ was the Michelin man, he was doing it.
All right, so
Yeah,
you're gonna clean up the spreadsheet, send it out to everybody, and for our meeting next month, we're all gonna give you back at least 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our top 5 things that we like or would wanna work on.
And, and a suggestion of something that you feel strongly about that's not on the list.
Right.
or something could occur that would attract our attention to take care of.
Should we pull the new ideas together first before we rank and vote on it?
I think that's okay for discussion, don't you think?
Okay,
I think that's, because then you're gonna send it back out, then it's
Yeah.
another month, and
Yeah,
then, you know
exactly.
what I mean? So I think we'll be okay. I think we have a nice team approachable committee that we can just discuss it on the fly.
Got
type
it.
of thing.
Okay, so I think we have an agreement on how we're gonna proceed. And once again, just an encouragement to everybody to take a look at that spreadsheet. Kathy will obviously diligently pass that around. Thank you, Kathy.
And let me remind everybody to please use my Lower Saucon Township email moving forward for all communication at this point. Thank you.
You'll
Okay.
send things from that instead of you?
Yeah,
Okay.
my business is offline at this point for all formal communication.
So Wallace, I have no idea if you paid attention to sort of township-wide elections and so forth, but Chad has been on this committee for several years, but now he has a township email because he was elected in November to township council. So that's what he's referring to there. Laura Ray is on council as well.
I like my email in both places though, because sometimes it's easier to read it in one place or the other, but it doesn't really matter.
Wallace, my name is Kathy. I'm the secretary. But if there's something that's going on at the high school, that's something that we can coordinate with, let us know. Because I wouldn't know, if you don't tell me, I wouldn't know. I don't have any children in school in district anymore.
You know, we probably are remiss in the one sense that we now know who Wallace is, but we didn't introduce ourselves to Wallace. So let's take a moment, go around the table, and let him know our names. So we'll start on your end, Laura Ray, and work
All right,
around.
so I'm Laura Ray. I am on council, and I have been on the EAC board for many years, probably close to 20 years, so environmental things are near and dear to my heart.
Chad Heimbecker, as I introduced, Lauren's father, and I'm, as he said, got elected. So, but I've been on the EAC for 3 years?
It's your fourth year, I think.
23, I think.
So I came on a year after, I think you were on 1 year and then I came on.
Okay.
This is my third year, or is it my fourth?
Yeah, it just
I
blurs,
know.
doesn't it?
Spoke out of turn while I was.
My name's Kathy McGovern. I've been here, if he's been here 3 years, I've been here 4 years, I can't remember. And I really enjoy this committee.
And I'm Jennifer Helton. I'm the co-chair. I've been on the committee year 4, I'm 5 years. And I'm a watershed steward for Penn State Master Watershed, so really
So
into
is
the
he.
environment, and Chad is as well. So, but nice to meet you, and really look forward to hearing good things coming out of the school where we can help.
My name's Drew Germanowski. I've been chair for several years. Gosh, I don't know how long I've been on a committee. I guess about 15 years, something along that line. I've been on the Open Space Committee for a number of years and chair of the Open Space Committee for the last 4 or 5 years. Actually, pre-COVID, I think. So yes.
Excuse me, Drew, I just want to point out that I do have a column here with everybody's date.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I'm almost afraid to look. That's not too bad. I guessed 15 years, so since 2010, May of 2010.
Yeah, he's also a professor and a geologist.
I'm sorry?
Professor of geology.
The geology professor at Lafayette
He's,
College.
Wait, my sister went there.
Oh, well, she's well educated.
I'm Alan Johnson. I've been on this committee since it began, which I think has been about 24 years. And so was Laura, I think. Both started when it started, right?
I came on maybe a year or two after it started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
2003 for Laura, 2005 for you.
A what? 2000?
2005 I have for you, and 2003 for Laura.
Oh.
I
You were
beat you
before.
somehow.
I think I was here before that, but I won't argue. So anyway, I'm been an environmentalist for a long time. And I live out in the Wassagas area. You know where that is?
And you're an engineer.
Very close to the Wassagas area.
Yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer, graduate from Penn State.
And I'm Russ Sutton. I think I've been on 2 or going on 3. I don't
I think
know.
we joined at the same time, so that
So,
was
so it's 3 then,
somebody out there.
3 years. And my background is I was an intensive care nurse for 36 years and an open heart, an ACLS instructor for 37 years. And I'm really involved with the environment, and I'm one of the board directors for a group that has stopped the landfill. So we stopped it twice, so it's a major accomplishment for us.
I'm Kurt Balch. I'm the low man on the totem pole. This is just under a year for me, and basically usually trying to maximize personal utility and usefulness to the community. And my background's in finance and analytics, which will tell you that I probably don't do that very often.
Winfield Clark. This is my 3rd year. I started with Russ. I work in live TV production, which doesn't have anything to do with this necessarily, but I moved here 7 years ago, and I live near the landfill. I live on Sherry Hill Road, and that had something to do with it. I wanted to get involved in the community, and they were willing to have me, and it's been a lot of learning and trying to help more all the time. So it's cool. Nice.
We all learned something. You're on Sherry Hill Road?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I
So
knew that.
there's several of us that are from the
Very close.
from the
Carpool's what we
eastern
should.
side of the township. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, you're right across 78, I think, for me. Right?
Yeah, I'm on
He's
countryside.
right next to the schoolhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been over there a lot. When I moved to the area, just looking for open space, like
Yeah.
wrong term, but just walking around checking stuff out. And I went there, and I went to the what used to be the golf course.
Yeah, Woodland Hills,
That's
yeah.
really cool. I've gone running there and stuff, so it's
I remember that was a golf course.
So my,
Oh, wasn't that
so
long
my
ago?
father-in-law
No.
too. He's like, they took away my golf course.
Kathy is from the famous Pitchell McGovern Ranch over in the eastern part of the
doesn't know.
township.
He doesn't
And
know.
they have really, since her and her husband have moved back home, as it were, have really revitalized the farm back into an active farm
A barn
again,
farm.
pretty much.
I am 3rd generation. My grandfather immigrated here, and I'm a nurse practitioner. And we have, I have to think, 28 cows, beef cows, right?
Just a few more than you started with.
Yeah, of
Different.
course.
They're there.
They're still there.
Yeah, they're still there. They're lawn ornaments.
Yeah,
Those are
2,
the
I think.
pigs.
2 horses.
2, yep.
It's actually, it really is a landmark for me when people say, where do you live? I say, oh, near Pitchell McGovern farm, and that and the Franklin one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah, right?
Are kind of the 2 big
Right.
landmarks over there.
Right?
So, okay, well, anyway, again, welcome, Wallace. Now you have a sense of who this cast of characters are.
Bunch of old people.
And we
So
do
let's
too.
see. So review of member attendance, was that one of your items, Jennifer?
Yeah, we want to make sure, and I think that, attendance is being maintained, but the issue itself has been resolved.
Right. And it's an important thing for everybody to keep in mind that when Carol starts to distribute the agenda for the meeting, that we all should respond whether we're going to attend or not. And we have to all be excused at times because we have other life responsibilities, but it is extremely helpful for us to know in advance who is going to be here. One practical reason is to know if we're going to have a quorum to be able to actually take action on items. If we don't have a quorum, we can discuss things, but we can't act on any items officially. So just a reminder, actually a good reminder to everybody. And there are, as you'll see with bylaws, that there are attendance requirements actually. And there have been times in the past when committee members have been removed from the committee. And there's a formal procedure for that too, but it's attendance-based. And of course, there are often extraordinary circumstances where someone might have significant health issues or challenges that they're working on, and that's a legitimate reason
to exempt some of the attendance requirements during certain periods of any member's individual life. So it's not totally draconian, but it's practical in terms of we have to function as a committee. So please, everyone, remember to respond whether you're going to attend or whether you'll have to be absent for any particular meeting.
If I can just clarify really quickly, we did make an adjustment in the bylaws regarding this. So if you would please respond all, it makes things a lot smoother
But we
for
do
everybody.
want to respond all.
Yes, please.
Forgive me, it's against my religion, so I've always been just responding
Right, and
independently.
Carol knows,
Yeah.
but we don't know. And it's
Yeah, me
part of
too.
the bylaws now, so it's cleaner of,
For
you
mentioning
know.
that.
So just respond all, and it just makes it easier.
Yeah, good point. That's challenging because sometimes you don't feel like everybody's inbox needs to be filled with,
Right.
in this case.
Some of us have received multiple counseling sessions in their former lives about not responding all.
Oh. This is all about,
Not big text guy.
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Take you off that.
it
I'm
just
glad
makes
you
it
said that.
cleaner, that's all.
Okay, so that brings us to subcommittee items, and at the last meeting we had, there was a subcommittee that worked diligently during the last year, last calendar year, to revise bylaws. They've been distributed previously at a meeting, so this is now a second distribution point. So Jennifer, you could speak to this issue as the chair of that subcommittee, and,
Yeah, so the purpose tonight, hopefully everyone's had an opportunity to go through the bylaws. We talked about the changes. And so to come tonight, we want to make sure, are you in agreement? Did you find any issues or concerns? Because we did have Steve, the attorney for the township, review, and he's, positive, in the sense of what we've wrote up here. And for your sake, Wallace, this was done back in 2010, so it hadn't been revised in quite a long time. So we spent a year going through it and everything. So at this point, does anyone have any corrections, concerns?
I think.
I have one thing that I wonder about, so let's see what you have to say. Article 6, Section 2, where it says officers specified in Section 1 of Article 4. Is that really necessary to put that in there?
Say that again.
Vice President, Secretary.
Article 6, Section 2.
Put the microphone a little bit closer to
Article 6, Section 2.
Right,
Officers specified in Section 1 of Article 4. Is it really necessary to have that phrase in there?
I mean, it was reviewed by Steve. It doesn't hurt. So at this point, I'd like
Probably
to not
doesn't
make
hurt.
the change.
Oh, because it was reviewed by the lawyer.
Right, and we would like it to move to council for approval. If everyone's okay not making that change, even though it seems a little redundant.
redundant, yeah.
And we fixed that item that we discussed previously via email.
Yeah,
So it was just a typo
it's just a
that we
typo.
addressed.
And it was reviewed, so.
And I would just point out two things for Carol to correct for the version it goes to council. They're minor things, but in Article 5, Section 4, I think that should be concluded with a period rather than a comma.
Good for you. Yep.
And then
What was that again, Article 5?
Article 5, Section 4, at the very end after chairperson, that should probably be a period. And then along the same line, Article 6, Section 2, just remove one of the periods at the end of that one. So they're just standard little typos, but we might as well send something clean to council. And were there any substantive issues that anybody noticed that we should discuss before we vote on approving this for submittal to council?
comment.
So if there are no issues, we could,
Bit this way too long.
Yeah, so call for a vote.
yeah, I don't have any questions. We all had this for a month or more, actually. So with that, I would, someone move to,
I'll make a motion to accept the Environmental Advisory Council revised bylaws.
you have a second? I'll second that. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, very good. So this will move forward to council, and we'll wait to hear back from council. Good work. That was a lot of work to go through this, and thank you for taking on that responsibility and doing so. Okay, I just realized, it's frustrating, as I grab my materials to come here, I have a notepad that's sitting on my desk at home with a few reminders, so I'm gonna just do my best to remind myself with respect to open space, the open space subcommittee. Now that we're reorganized, right?
Go ahead.
So now that we're reorganized for the year, our open space subcommittee has traditionally consisted of, was comprised of 5 members. One of those members of the open space subcommittee is no longer a member of the EAC. So in essence, I suppose we have 2 decisions. One is I was chair of that subcommittee, so I think we should, with a new year, determine whether I should continue to chair that. And then second, see if the other 3 members wish to continue on that, and then see if anybody else would like to step up to raise that to 5 members. So I guess I should just bite the bullet and start with that first question.
I make a motion for Drew Germanowski to be the chairman, is it called chairperson?
Chairperson.
Of the Open Space Committee.
Is there a second? So all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so, and then the remaining, or the other members of that committee were Jennifer Helton, Kathy McGovern-Pitchell, or is it Pitchell-McGovern? Pitchell-McGovern, and Russell Sutton. Are each of you willing to continue to serve on that committee?
Yes.
Okay, good. And I can report, just for the rest of the committee's information, that these have all been active members. It has been easy for us to meet with landowners to evaluate properties because Kathy, Russ, and Jennifer have attended those visitations and fulfilled the responsibility. So that leaves us then with another opening. If anybody is interested, please nominate yourself. So Kurt?
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
If there's a spot, yeah.
Okay, so the other interesting thing about this is, here's where we could perhaps lean on Alan and Laura Ray. I did not notice anywhere any statement that there should be 5 members or 6 members. I think it has just been a matter of practicality that we've had 5 members throughout the years I've been here. The practical aspect being that we have to have at least 3 members present to score a property. And so having more than 3 members is just helpful, because then it makes it easier. Again, the issue being rather obvious, I think, that when a landowner comes forward and wants to have their property scored, we have to work around their schedule, period. And so I see no problem with having more than 5 members on the Open Space Committee. If anything, it should just make it easier for us to fulfill our responsibilities.
I think you should let Kurt and Winfield know, are we talking about the subcommittee itself? We're gonna revise the open space,
At this moment, I mean the active Open Space
just going
Committee
to
that
review the
evaluates
properties.
properties, right?
So there's reviewing the properties, which you have to be educated on. There's a spreadsheet or a score sheet, I guess you would call it. But we also need to revise the open space it's not a
the
policy.
procedures, which,
Procedure.
of course,
Yeah, outdated.
right. And towards that end, at the last meeting, we distributed the referendum language that went to the residents, because in essence, those are kind of our operating orders in terms of what the residents of the township, when they voted to extend the open space program, that reflects their expectations for how funds could be used and distributed and so forth. So we took that step of passing that around, and now that we have a reconstituted EAC in the first place, and now a reconstituted open space committee, we could form a smaller subcommittee to move forward with the revision. And I have those documents and have been working through them. Some things are easy, they just can stay the same. I've also couched my review with open space subcommittee standards of other EACs. There are guidelines for this actually that are sort of statewide. And so I think it might be sensible to have a smaller group work on that for efficiency. So again, as always, the best work gets done from people who are volunteers rather than hostages. So who would like to work with me on that moving forward here? So Russell, Jen, it's pretty much
Awesome,
the
that's
whole group.
wonderful.
So I think that's fine that we
More
do that.
better.
More eyes, more brains.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And if anyone's interested, the We Connect has a huge section on open space. So that would probably be another tool we'll want to lean on. So keep that in mind and we'll
And,
discuss.
sorry, repeat that, please.
We Connect.
Okay, yes.
Has a huge section, sorry.
Serve.
We Can Serve, sorry. Making up a new.
Serve.
Why not?
Okay, so I shall reach out to all of you to start trying to organize those efforts now as a group, okay? Great. And one of the things, again, just not to just keep saying the same thing month to month, but this committee, this EAC has constituted now over the last couple of years, has really stepped up the game of this group. And I just want to thank everybody, because it's volunteer time and people have been generous with their time. So thank you all for that. I think we're doing much better work. So thanks. Stormwater Management Subcommittee, Chad, do you have anything to update or bring to our attention?
I don't have any update on that right now, no.
Okay.
But we need to schedule another time to go through things.
Okay, very good. So that's at your discretion to move that forward.
Who now is on the stormwater committee?
If it carries over from last year, then yeah, I'm on
So
it.
it'll be Chad, Winfield,
Me,
Alan, who else? The three of you?
Drew is.
True?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, and I have the expertise that can be helpful there
So
too.
the four of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
I think I had asked Janine as well, but we haven't seen her.
the question was Janine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Janine actually must have informed you she wouldn't be able to make it to this meeting? Okay, very good.
So
Yeah.
Janine is still, all right.
Okay.
Now, do you have to do the same process of Chad, nominating Chad as the chairperson for the stormwater management, or we don't have to do that
I
again?
think we're okay because we're just ongoing.
Okay.
And then calendar subcommittee, Kathy, do you have anything to report? We're going back to calendar events.
No, what I envision, I don't think I need a subcommittee. What I envision is, like we discussed before, and then we decide as a group what the topics are gonna be. If we're gonna invite somebody, I'd be happy to do it. I don't think we need a subcommittee for that.
Okay,
So we'll remove the subcommittee.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Just say calendar update or.
Yeah.
Okay, we have no developer items. So that brings us to updates and reports, calendar of events. one question I have, maybe it's better, no, it probably is a good thing to consider at this point. I'm debating between that and educational ideas. We talked about the impacts of road salt on waterways, and Chad, you were looking into that, and then also I hope everybody received the email from David Bressler, and I could reach out to him if we want to schedule him to perhaps he or a representative come to the EAC at a meeting in the spring, I suppose. What are our desires there, Chad?
Jennifer Latsko from Little Lehigh Watershed has offered to come either February or March.
Okay,
Give a
so do we
presentation.
want to leave it at that and then, or,
She does an excellent job.
okay, so, I mean,
The
should we just
question-
leave David, we're aware of that level of organization that we could follow up with David, is that what you suggested? And start with having her visit us and,
I would start with having her.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay,
Since she's local, he's
Right.
like an hour and a
he's
half
coming
away.
up from Philadelphia area.
So
So Chad, what's the,
March, February or March.
yeah,
are
is
the
it our
days.
decision or Jennifer's?
She offered either day.
Okay.
So
I think we should use her for February, so then it gives us time to, if we're gonna do something sooner, we can be ready for March.
Right,
That's
so
my-
the sooner the better is what. yeah.
Correct.
And you said, Chad, that she's willing and able to do either of those 2 months,
yeah,
okay?
and it's what,
February 10th.
February 10th. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. I will reply to her and let her know.
And then just forward,
Jennifer Latsko,
LASKO.
Latzgo.
Easy.
and Chad, then when that's finalized with your communication, or just pass that on to Carol.
I will.
So then Carol can put it on our agenda and
Yeah,
then
and
it's,
whatever her presentation's gonna need, I'll make sure that we have it for her, right?
drive?
Like, yeah, USB drive or something like that.
And one more question before we move on. Is she, this is a guess, I guess, but is this for us, or is this something we can open to the public?
We want to
Oh,
open
it
to the
should be
public.
open
It's
to
a
the public.
public meeting anyway, so.
Yeah, it's a
No, I
public
know,
meeting.
but like a public, like, do we wanna promote it?
We do.
Is what I'm-
We should.
Yes, we do
Yes,
wanna,
we
we
do.
wanna get it locked down, we wanna promote it, and then that gives us the MS4 requirements for public outreach
Wonderful,
education.
okay.
And
okay,
again,
that-
this is where this agenda, I think, could be refined a little bit, because we're kind of bouncing around from goals and objectives to calendar subcommittee, to calendar of events and educational ideas. A lot of this falls under the same feel to me
Correct.
of one topic.
I do think we can
And-
get rid of calendar of events and educational ideas for residents. Get, or, I mean, or I guess for February, calendar of events, but yes. You can take out the calendar subcommittee and then take out educational ideas for residents.
We don't
'cause
have a calendar subcommittee, do we?
Not anymore,
Okay.
as of,
We have a secretary.
take out educational
but
ideas
of
for
course, the
residents.
educational idea of residents is just something that we fit into the calendar.
Correct.
But then that event would satisfy B here, that education.
That's huge.
So get that checked off the list early in the year.
I'm sorry, which one?
The MS4 requirements
Right.
for outreach, we'll get that taken care of hopefully in the early part of this year.
Right, through these things.
And maybe after that presentation, then maybe the Stroud Water research
Right,
later, which might line us up with the citizen science project, which I'm turning to you for. If just as a background, road salt is an issue. When the salt gets into the groundwater and the streams, increases the salinity, which affects the macroinvertebrates, so the food source of the fish are the food source for the birds, yada, yada, up the food train. So trying to do an evaluation of the waterway and the watershed system, where we involve students, probably from the school, or concerned citizens who want to come out and do water sample testing. They collect the samples, they send them back to a facility where they do the measurements, or they can do it in the field too. Sometimes there's test strips, you know, sometimes it's drops, sometimes there's a little digital salinity meter that you put two metal prongs in. So there's different ways to do this. And we're gonna try to look at maybe doing that this year to see what kind of impact road salt has on our watershed.
And so Wallace, you should, as you sit through these meetings and see what items we're discussing and so forth, some of these things might resonate with things that you and the environmental club already have going, or might inspire you to say, hey, you know, I'll bet this is something we can add to our agenda, meaning the environmental club and so forth. So make sure you realize you're welcome and encouraged to get more involved and to sort of maybe interface between the environmental club and the EAC. Okay?
One thing I want to add is with what Chad was saying, the Saucon Creek watershed is already doing testing. They did it in October as a baseline. So they're already doing the testing. They'll go back out. But it's very much controlled by the weather. But we definitely have that going. We can bring that discussion to the table as well, because that is already occurring, and they're collecting that data through Stroud.
So Jennifer, is the watershed group prepared then and waiting for events, weather events and so forth? And are there individuals who are sort of waiting and raring to go to do some more measurements and sampling?
Yeah, I mean, it's driven off. Stroud kind of says, okay, it looks like this will be a good day. You know, it's not raining, but we had snow 2 weeks. And correct me if there's anything you want to add, Alan, but.
You're doing good, you know more than I do.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're trying to work with Stroud because it's more organized, because the state doesn't allow you just to go out and take a strip and call it scientific data. So working with that, they're trying to
I
collect
think you should mention that this is for salinity.
salinity.
The test that we're doing.
Yeah.
Or that is being done.
Right.
There's many other tests that you can do on groundwater, but salinity is the one that we're working on.
Right.
Road salts.
Road salts.
And so there are sampling sites that have already been predetermined?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. How many do you know offhand?
3?
3?
At least 3.
I think it's at least 3.
Okay.
They wanted it at the, can't think of the word.
Near the mouth of the
Yeah.
stream, or?
Average them together, was that you're trying to think of?
No.
Triangulate?
No, where it was the best near the roads. it had a term.
Conversions?
Yeah, on the conversions of different parts of Saucon Creek. So,
And there are no gauges on Saucon Creek. I know the USGS doesn't have one, but the Watershed Association hasn't tried to establish a gauge anywhere.
no, not
Yeah.
to date.
Yeah, okay. Okay, great. And then plastic bag update. I think we probably should, Carol, going forward, we should have caught this, but we should be talking about plastics in the environment, because we've extended the conversation beyond plastic
Single-use
bags.
Single-use plastic, we were.
I'm sorry?
Single-use plastic.
Single-use plastics. So, yeah, we should start using that moniker. And so there is the public opinion survey that we have looked at previously, as well as the educational information here regarding the hidden threat of microplastics.
So this one page is the article that Laura wrote that it will go in the newsletter. So we wanted everyone to get a glimpse of what was going in the newsletter. And then, of course, we had the survey.
And just so you know, they really try to keep your article size pretty small for the newsletter, so that's why I didn't go on and on and on, because you could write there are books on this topic, obviously.
Yeah.
So hopefully hit some of the easy to understand concepts of it, and was hoping then we could tie it in with getting our survey out there. So
Yeah.
both of these, well, the survey still needs the council approval, I guess.
And so there again, the plan is to have this go out in the next newsletter, is that correct?
That would be the
And
plan.
so, when we met in December, we asked Carol about when the next newsletter was, and it's kind of variable. So now that we have another month has elapsed, do you have any firmer sense? Has there been any conversation about like a target date for the next newsletter?
I've sent the information to Nicole. I don't know if she started it or not, so, I'll try to touch base with her tomorrow to see where she's at with it. But I did send the information to her. I would have to add the QR code and the link once it is up on the site. So I can't do that until that's done. So if this is the survey that you want and this is how you want it written, I can go ahead and get that on SurveyMonkey.
Okay.
I won't put it out to everyone yet, but I'll get it started.
So I just want to clarify, because I heard a different couple of things. So the plastic bag update and the survey has to go in front of council first? That's what I just heard.
The article really doesn't, it's an article, but the survey, I guess, should officially get approved because we want to put it out to the
Through
public.
council.
There's a cost associated with that. Is there a cost associated with the
really.
survey?
No, you're planning on doing it, I can do it on the website, SurveyMonkey, and I can do it on, put the information, add the information to the article and have it go through the newsletter. The newsletter is on, we don't send it out anymore, so it's on our website.
So
Yeah, it's
I
really
just
not a
want to make sure
cost.
for clarity. So the survey has to be approved to council. The survey is going to be going out to the public. Does it have to be renewed by the solicitor, reviewed by the solicitor?
Hey, he probably will look at it, but I don't think there's anything in here
Okay, and then
legally
we're gonna save this
detrimental here.
for the newsletter, which is not gonna go out for it sounds like a couple months, a month.
Well, hope not a couple months.
All right, a month, all right.
When you get the survey set up, are we gonna get a chance to just double check it?
I can send to one person, so whoever wants to review it.
Just to make sure
As long as I have
the
somebody
inputs
to
are.
review it, because I don't want to put it out myself without approval.
Yeah.
A sidebar. Did you say you sent the newsletter information to Nicole today? Is that what you said?
Last week.
Because I didn't hear
When I got
any-
this information.
I didn't hear anything from her from the Historical Society, like that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, I don't know if she started it or not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
And did I hear that correctly, Carol? Did you say the township is no longer going to send out a paper newsletter?
Correct.
Wow. Interesting. So there's no notification is there an email notification that will go to residents that there is a new newsletter, or do people just have to go to the website?
It went out, it was listed in the last newsletter, and it was stated that that was the last one. If people would like to get a copy of the newsletter, they can, send information to Nicole, and then she can put them on a list, and she'll make a copy and she'll send it out to them. Otherwise, it goes out on Constant Contact, it goes on our website, and the newsletter itself is posted in I forget what section, community perhaps, where it is listed with all the other newsletters that we put out.
Okay. Wow.
So
I
to,
thought I paid attention in this township and I didn't pick up on that, so that's frightening.
I'm highly in agreement with it, but we'll see how it goes. So really, we need to promote this ourselves to get people to give input, let them know we are doing a survey so that we can try to get as much feedback from residents as we can.
So you think you can get that survey set up before our next meeting?
Yes.
And if you want me to look at it, I will, just to double check and make sure the input's okay. And then we'll have the QR code ready for that.
Yes.
The article's then approved, or it will be.
Well,
And
the article's the article.
we should be fine. And we're gonna leave the survey online for how long, do you think?
That's up to you.
And we'll blast it
That's
on
information I
Facebook
will
then
need,
too,
because I
right?
do have to input that.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess we'll have to indicate on the survey that this will be active for or until,
Right.
and have a stated deadline there for people.
Like
That will
30 days,
probably
90
help a
days?
little bit of
I'd
response.
like at least a month,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, you might wanna go a little bit longer.
Well, especially if we're gonna set it up and then we're waiting for the newsletter to go out.
I would,
And then you would want another 60 days from there to let people know.
I agree.
Well,
especially
I
the
don't think we
physical
wanna
touch.
do the setup or the release it until we know the newsletter's ready too, cause that'll probably be the. Although I don't think that many people get the newsletter electronically that I've heard, only a couple hundred people.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
That's a shame. I like that.
I do like it too, in paper.
It helps.
Yeah, I think I mean, I suppose it's a cost savings move. I don't know.
That was
Our
it.
conversation, I suppose, but it's unfortunate.
Do we have it?
With this survey, I think a deadline of some sort will help a little bit.
Yeah,
Because if people see there's a deadline, if they're interested, then they're more likely, I think, to pay attention. Whereas if
Right.
it seems open-ended, that's easy to just forget about, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, okay.
Do we have any kind of opt-in touch point for electronic communication, since we're moving
Yeah.
away from physical?
Yeah, on
What is that touch point for residents to sign
It's on
up
the
for
website.
electronic?
the website.
So, but that's not really a touch point, that means you have to go on the website. I'm wondering
You
if
have to
if
go
we
look
have.
for it instead of have
Is there
it.
any point where we interact with residents throughout the year, where something's in front of them, they can check a box to say, add me to an electronic list, that doesn't require them to go actively to the website?
The only thing I could think that we could maybe try to ask for is if we just do another mailer.
With this survey, you're saying?
No, not with this, but just a generalized, like with a QR code or something on it that says, make sure you've signed up here. You know, if we only have a couple hundred people that are signed up on the constant contact list, then that may indicate to the township that people didn't quite understand.
Well, I'm wondering, is something as
Said
simple as a
yourself
checkbox on a tax mailer? When
Yeah,
our township
something
taxes
else
come
that's going
through,
on.
we all put our emails on
Wait a
there,
minute, I'm trying to turn it off.
indicate that we'd like to be communicated via email for
Yeah,
a
some way
township
to sign up to
business.
a newsletter.
Just thinking about something that always ends up in every resident's hands on an annual basis.
I forgot that
I
was
hear you.
even there.
yeah, I don't know if we could touch the tax bills.
That one seems
Probably
to
not,
show up
but-
for everybody.
Yeah, but you know,
tone's
you have to
way
look at the
better than I am.
demographics
I'm not
of
even here.
Lower Saucon Township, you know, and a lot of people, they're not gonna,
We couldn't put a little pamphlet in there, get Keystone to put a little slide, like a little,
I don't know.
that could be a discussion for another day, but you
Yeah.
can always send out like a postcard
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
and just say.
Make sure
you know,
you've signed up for the newsletter,
and
because we're not sending it
review,
out.
and you have the EAC committee, the planning commission, you know, like a little, like
Yeah.
informatic thing, and I agree, Laura,
Or
I
even
don't
if it's
think
a
leaving it
calendar,
online.
like a once a year calendar
Right.
pamphlet, you know, like, hey, here's some of the big events that we got coming up
Come
for the
look
next
this,
year.
for this year, so people know about it.
People aren't aware.
I agree.
And that pays respect, I think, to a lot of people who are not online.
Right.
Right.
That just changed recently then, I take it, it was voted on
Yeah.
previous.
Well, this was like, the last newsletter
year.
was like the first one electronic, I guess.
I think we should look at some analytics on that and see how many people actually even looked at it.
Council should get to
Okay.
work on that.
Yeah, we'll talk to him, I know a guy.
Yeah, it's-
Funny how that works.
Chad, do you have any
Lehigh Valley
Lehigh Valley
EAC,
group?
the only thing I have today, well, and I forget when it is. Hold on, let me look at my calendar. We're having an EAC Network Steering Committee meeting, something on the 22nd at 7:00 PM. That's gonna be our next conversation as a group online.
Oh, it's a
Talk-
Zoom? It's a
Yeah,
Zoom.
to talk about things. And I got an email from them. Palmer Township Movie Night. You're invited. Palmer Township Environmental Steering Committee is pleased to invite you to Winter Movie Night at Palmer Township, February 19th at 6:30 PM. The Palmer branch of Easton Area Public Library, 1 Weller Place. Join us for Chasing Ice, a powerful and visually breathtaking film that takes viewers on an unforgettable journey to some of the most remote places on Earth. Stunning photography, deeply human story, film captures beauty of our planet and why it's worth protecting. Engaging, eye-opening, and sparks meaningful conversation. Okay?
That is I'm familiar with, I know that. That's a very powerful video to see, and the video footage is unbelievable and breathtaking. I would encourage people, if you have time and have curiosity, that's well worth your time.
February 19th, 6:30, Palmer Branch of Easton Area Public Library, 1 Weller Place. Chasing Ice. All right, that's all I
And
got on
I'm
that.
sorry, Chad, on January 22nd, 7
Yeah,
o'clock, a
January
Zoom.
22nd, there's gonna be a Zoom meeting with the EAC network, Lehigh Valley EAC Network Steering Committee. I don't know that it's open to the public,
Okay.
but we will be discussing, I believe, some upcoming events, the breakfasts that they do, try to figure out maybe another speaker. Listen. All right, that's all I got, thank you.
Okay. Russ, is there a planning commission communication of any sort you want to share?
No, I don't have.
Okay. Okay.
Alan,
Well, I
do you
do.
want to take back,
What?
you want to chair that? Would that be easier? Because, yeah,
Well, what happened last year is they appointed both Russell and I to be kind of like liaisons to the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission. And when I was sick, I couldn't go. Russell went. And now that I'm back, I'm interested again. So the both of us can do whatever we want to do. Russell is more interested in what's going on out there at the garbage dump. And I'm more interested in other things that are going on in the township. I mean, in the township. For instance, Act 167, which is part of the stormwater management thing, covers a lot of water issues in the township and everywhere. And I'm getting more and more interested in water issues. So I want to address water issues more in our Environmental Advisory Council meetings. And the other thing is that Lower Saucon Township has just signed up for a big analysis thing with the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission, which is going to involve our input, because we're like, members of a township organization, and it's going to involve the residents' input, and this thing's going to be going on for most of the year. So I think we will be discussing a lot of things that the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission is leading, because they're going to be leading this study. So I think we'll all be involved with the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission this year. And besides, their meetings are all public anyway. Anybody can go to them. So we'll be looking forward to that activity.
yeah, and I went up there when you said to read the various plans that were now in the draft form. And I noticed that there is some grant funds that were received. And one of them is to put in a light at Polk Valley near the McDonald's and extend the rail trail. So just a point of, be aware of. So that was very interesting to see, so.
I think that, the money has been allocated for those projects. The thing at Polk Valley Road and Main Street, the way I understand, is a little confusion about what they want to do there, or what will be done. So the only thing that's been announced mainly is that there's been money allocated for work at that intersection. And I don't know who knows the details, but I don't. And we'll find out
The only thing I
somehow.
saw on it was like $300,000 and it's just for the rail trail to extend
Extended to
over
Bethlehem.
to Polk Valley Park, I believe.
Yeah, but if you go up to the website, you'll see that there is
Yeah, it was
grant
to
money, so it
extend-
may be subjective what they're gonna put in there, but
There's grant
there's
money to extend it into
traffic
Bethlehem.
control,
It's allocated in different years, so
Yeah.
it depends on what year you were looking at.
yeah.
Over the next 5 years, I guess.
So it would be, I think it would be good for us to look at what that's all about. I have no idea. I'd like to learn more about what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And what that money was allocated for. I know it was something to do with the trail, specific.
Well, I
rail trail.
sent the link, so if you all have last month, there was a direct link to the,
Okay,
plan, and it's on that main page before you link into the, the different
Okay.
plans, so,
I might have missed it.
yeah, I kind of went back and saw it like the second or third time.
Gotcha.
Well, I know they wanted to continue it over the trestle into Bethlehem.
That's been approved. That's already guaranteed, that Greenway funds. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I just saw, I remember seeing all these
That'll be
people
good when that
complaining on
gets done.
Facebook when it
Yeah,
got announced.
really nice.
It's like, why are you complaining about something that would improve the rail trail? It just doesn't make any sense.
That's why I don't go on Facebook, because people don't make any sense.
You can't sleep, so, yeah, I don't read it anymore.
I don't understand.
Okay, public comment?
Yay!
My name is Virginia Stangline. I live on Old Philadelphia Pike. Thanks for having a very professional and wonderful way of conducting your meeting. Actually know Russ for, let's see, what would you say, 50 years?
Yes.
We sat next to each other in high school. Just a couple things, looking at this. First of all, I've been in other meetings and other organizations. The new business did not come up on the agenda before the old business. And maybe that would help your kind of confusion as to what you're talking about first. I think the old business should come up first and the new businesses afterwards. Just a thought. Questions on this newsletter thing. I can tell you that I certainly don't go online and look for more things to do because we get so many emails. So thinking about you're trying to save money and not sending the newsletter. So when you are asking people to do this electronically, are they going to submit it electronically or are they being asked to print it out and mail it or bring it in?
Submit
Done
electronically.
Okay, all right, well, so that's saving you money too. But maybe what you could do for a couple of months, you're gonna leave this open for a couple of months, have it as an agenda item for the township meeting, have the QR code up there, and then the two people that are on the council, they bring it up and mention it and push this a little bit. And perhaps would you be willing to make 50 copies of this and to hand it to people that are at the meeting that do not go online at each meeting?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a very good idea.
Response, you're gonna have to
Look
make
for
it
it.
easy for people. I know that if I got something in the mail, I would fill it out as compared to, I will go and look for this now so that I'm aware of it. But some people are not aware. I mean, you see how many people are here for a meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
okay, let's see, what was that? I had one other thing. Oh, just a question. I am really missing the paper recycling. Is there any chance that that is ever coming back to our place here?
What's that?
Paper recycling.
The recycling bins.
I did spend times in there. I'm the cleanup on this road. I'm kind of oriented that way. People threw all kinds of things in there, plastic and
Ridiculous.
cardboard, and
Right.
I would take some of the cardboard to the Allentown recycling because I've given up on Bethlehem. But anyway, I miss it. I miss the paper thing. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Bethel doesn't paper recycle anymore.
I can tell you what happens with the garbage on this road. With my neighbor and I share garbage, and all gets thrown into the same garbage truck. So I don't
Same.
even
It's
I
a,
don't even take recycling out here. I take it to my son up in Walnutport, and he puts it out at his separate thing.
it's,
Yeah, I take it to
I
Bethel
agree.
recycle.
There are,
just so
the
you're,
trash haulers, there are trash haulers that do separate collections though, within the township.
Not very many.
Well, they do separate collections,
There's
but where does
a
it go?
list of them out here on the wall, I think, and there's a few of them that do
Philadelphia.
Do a separate thing.
separate recycling.
Okay. we can
Mine
look into
do.
that.
But it probably costs more for their services. I don't know which ones.
Well, mine was supposed to do it, and all goes in the same truck.
They still do it, even though they're up, You're telling me that one of the ones that's listed up here on the wall,
I have to look to see if they're listed on the wall.
go check on the wall here and see if they're listed for plastic
Right,
and cardboard separate.
right.
And if they're not, then I think we need to look at that.
Okay, I'll look at that.
Carol, please help me if I'm wrong, but it was not a choice for the township, because I missed the
Yeah.
paper recycling as well. And there was one down by the church on Easton Road, and there was one here at the township building.
At the high school.
But and the one at the high school, but between the school, the church and the high school with the debris, as I understand the company, am I correct?
Yeah, they stopped, right?
Right. The
There was
company-
no option
Company
left.
has stopped. It wasn't our choice,
Right,
it was their choice.
So,
And the borough of Hellertown had stopped it years ago.
Yeah.
We kept it going here at the township.
and I miss it, cause I really want it. But just so you're aware, that was not a decision from the EAC.
Right.
Or the township. It was just for the company that just
I did
decided.
understand that, I just didn't know if there were any other options. I mean, I spend my time going to the Allentown Recycling, because I go to a senior center. It's convenient for me there. They're open 24 hours a day. They don't give you a hard time, there's no hours, they're not closed Mondays and all
Oh,
of that,
that's
so.
awesome.
At the city of Allentown?
Yes,
That company is listed on the paperwork that I have out there. And the city of Bethlehem was kind enough to offer to do the same thing, take ours at no cost, so.
okay.
Is that along the river? Is that close?
Off of Martin Luther King,
Where water plant is?
yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, township correspondence, do you have any? Old business is, of course, reviewing minutes from the December meeting. They are in the packet. And I apologize for, I looked at this earlier today when I read through this. Again, I just want to remind us of Kathy having compiled the year of accomplishments for the EAC. That epitomizes my previous comments about how active EAC has been, and thank you, Kathy, for that. So having revisited that item, let's move to the minutes. Does anybody have any errors or omissions to point out in the minutes? I did not.
I did not.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes then.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that's good. Good job with the minutes. Again, the streamlined minutes have been much more effective, I think.
Much.
That's really good, Karen. Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, do we want to talk about this, Carol?
If you want, I could put it out to everybody.
Talk about
I
it.
sent it to everybody's email.
Today?
Just respond, today, yeah.
I didn't see an email.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea, so, yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, thank you.
Very nice.
Are we adjourned?
We're adjourned, goodbye.
Motion second by Russ, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
Flexing that new building.
He loves it.
Off the overall official minutes, but Carol, could you phone me and email me next month and remind